What's up, everybody out there on the internet? This is your boy Vaughn B and my main man Elton, the Noob Adventure. If you can't, you got to give yourself some love. Actually, you know what, bro? I really like that little intro music that I made. I think it actually is pretty cool.
It's catchy.
Yeah. Who would have thought putting some Spartans stomping in the background to West Coast beat would be catchy.
That's definitely something AI could generate.
Dude, all right. Yeah, is it actually I'm not sure what you would get though, because like it is, I mean, you could probably combine stuff. Oh, and speak of the devil. What's up, Ricky?
Hello.
And no talking. Okay. It's stimulating. No, it's like the thing with like AI is the consistency. Sometimes you don't really get that. You know, I could tell somebody who's drawing something from me. I'm like, all right, I want you to draw this, and then he can draw me a bunch of stuff. And they'll say, all right, I like that one. Give me versions of that. Now, I did mess with an app where they kind of did that, where you can get a version of, you could pick one, but like Copilot doesn't seem to do that, and I haven't seen any yet. I don't even like, it's in Canva. I don't even remember which one it was that I was using, but I didn't like how the stuff that it drew. So maybe when they trained it, they didn't have access to as much stuff as, you know, like Microsoft has or Google has. But it's the problem with getting consistency out of the stuff. It's like I'd rather have an artist do it, because then I can get exactly what I want instead of something that's in the ballpark of what I want. Like with the various icons and logos that I've been making, I get stuff in the ballpark. And I would much prefer to have someone who can draw to essentially draw it for me, at least until I get my drawing skills back up to where I want them at. And that means I got to get off my lazy ass and do something about that. All right. So you with us, Ricky?
Yeah, I'm here already.
All right. We're just waiting because you've gotten shy over the last few weeks. People get to look at my bumpy face.
Because there's nothing to look at for, so it's good.
All right, man. Did the Dodgers win?
I don't know. I
No.
just got home.
They didn't.
They lost.
So why the hell is dude popping firecrackers?
See, you
told you.
can't blame the Dodgers.
You're
No,
paranoid, dude. I told you that. Every time for June, they always light up for every day.
Bro.
Bro.
The Dodgers are playing.
Elton can tell you that. He lives near me.
All right, so the Dodgers are playing, and at the end of the game, I noticed a few times firecrackers were going off. So one would assume that.
Nope. They lost 3 straight games. You think they're gonna be lighting fireworks?
Dude, no. I don't know what then. I have no clue what the hell the dude doing down the street.
4th of July.
4th of July looked like Beirut yesterday. I felt like I was in
4th of July, man. What's wrong?
I felt like I was in Iran. All right.
It's all America, man.
Yeah. America.
What did the Simpsons say? Celebrate the independence of your country by blowing up a small part of it.
First, you wanna. It's about now celebrating. Everybody's celebrating, so you know.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this fun stuff. All right. Matt and Trey Parker had something to share about the Comedy Central broadcast delay, because they're trying to get their stuff situated. It's a new season for South Park. Okay. Premiere of South Park, season 27. Yeah, that's a lot. Been delayed from July 9th to July 23rd by Comedy Central, and the show's creators, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, are not happy about it. Okay. In response to the press release from Comedy Central about the change in premiere day for South Park, Trey and Matt Parker said, This merger is a shit show, and it's effing up South Park. We are at the studio working on new episodes. We hope the fans get to see.
Strong words.
It's like you got to go through a bunch of hoops to get like the time period you're gonna release this stuff. It's probably just we're gonna change it. Then you get everything set up that just throws you off. Like they probably got like a way that they do stuff. And yeah, I'd be pissed off too. So I wonder if they actually mention what the reasoning is.
Was it just a delay? I wonder.
Hmm?
And he said, I wonder if it's just a delay.
Okay. Recent legal letter from Parker and Stone's representative accuses Skydance, Red Bird, and executive Jeff Shell, soon to become president of Paramount Global, of interfering in these negotiations. The letter claims that they attempted to persuade the WBD to accept a shorter licensing term and delay access to new episodes until after a year of exclusivity on Paramount. So this has nothing to do with the merger. For now, max temporary extension. Paramount Plus still intends to begin streaming it on a conjunction with the new season's launch. Despite the legal wrangling, fans can expect the beloved characters to return later in July, though a long-term streaming future remains unsolved. Okay. Yeah, it's streaming, so it's not nothing to do with the merger. It's just this streaming nonsense.
And they're mostly upset because it's delayed.
Yeah, and it sounds like it has something to do with some kind of shenanigans. How Paramount wants to hold it in exclusivity on Paramount Plus.
Oh, before.
Yeah.
Yeah, before releasing it on Comedy Central.
Well, I mean Max, because like I guess they're a WB show, or like Warner Brothers must make it. That's when you run into these things where like, all right, Tim Allen had a show on ABC, but the show was actually made by Fox.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh.
It was licensed to ABC. So therefore, when ABC canceled it, Fox was able to have it go on for another 2 seasons, I think. They just put it on Fox.
Like, okay.
Yeah, it's like these weird deals that they have going on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was going to be a bit more juicier than it actually was. Seems to be typical network TV nonsense. So, it's been a while since I've actually watched South Park like a whole episode. I've seen clips. I don't even think I
watch reruns.
Okay.
Every now and
same
then.
thing as me. Reruns.
If I stay up late, then I'll watch it. It always gives me a good laugh.
But the best one was Ozempic one. That was so funny.
That was like the humor, even in the older episodes, like even though the references are obviously like old, it still like holds up, and there's still some like value to the, to their insights on whatever political thing was happening at the time.
Yeah, it's like when I've been watching clips of Top Gear, and it's been around for 20 years, like the original crew. Even though they talk about cars that are like old as shit now, still funny because they're funny, and it's the same. It's probably the same thing. It's like their commentary is basically on how crazy the world was at whatever particular time period. So if you're funny and you talk about it, it's still funny. It's like
that's true.
Yeah, well, you're watching old George Carlin talking about the 70s. It's still funny. It's like it may not be that relevant right now, but still funny what he's talking about, because I think they touch into like the whole universal truth kind of thing. Like one of those things that like modern writers don't know how to do. It's like they're so focused on the message and what's going on right now. It's like they do not know how to make whatever that they're trying to talk about more relatable so that it becomes timeless.
That is so true.
Yeah. It's like you can watch humor from the 50s, and if the person is good enough to get his point across and it does it in a story type form, then you can kind of get what he's talking about, even though it's way, It's like whenever you read like the Iliad or the Odyssey or anything like that, like written thousands of years ago, it's still a hero's journey. So you can understand what the person who they're writing about is going through because they just kind of made it more human. So that's it. Sucks that the stuff that they write now, they don't know how to do that. So it just becomes super jaded and stuck in the time period that it is. All right. Well, the next story that I want to talk about is actually, you know what? California is extending their tax credit to cover animation now.
What do you mean by animation? Like,
I'll show you. I'll show you the article. Yeah, it's right. Officially expanded its film and TV tax incentive to include animated features, series, shorts, and a significantly increased credit of 35%, up from 20 to 25%. Marks the first time animation has been directly eligible for the stage production incentive programs. Part of the reason for that is Disney is moving most of their is slowly started to move their stuff out of Los Angeles. Like in terms of animation, they're going to remember we talked about this last week about how they can't get the cost down, so they're trying alternative ways to make these things. So like going to Canada or going to Korea, places like that, where they can actually pay people less and make their product, because they're competing with people who already are overseas. So they're not paying California's taxes and the cost of living for the people who are drawing their stuff.
I thought they did tariffs just for that.
Hmm?
I thought that's why they put the tariffs for anybody making movies trying to bring it here.
Well, I mean, that's one of those things where the tariffs were not necessarily like he can say that he's doing this, but it's more of a negotiation thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of what you kind of want is this kind of stuff where the state has to incentivize it. Part of a lot of people moved out of California in terms of filming things is because the state stopped doing stuff. They stopped letting cops work overtime to do security on the shows and movies and whatnot. They got rid of they aren't competitive when it comes to the tax credits and all this other stuff. So people just leave. That's why all the Marvel movies are filmed in Atlanta and London because they get better tax credits. So it's the movie. They have a budget and they pay for whatever, but they get money back, so it kind of lowers the budget overall. And I think California was reluctant to do that. So, Symbol Bill 1138, new policy coincides with an increase in the state's overall tax credit fund, which has more than doubled from 330 to 750 million annually. So it's like they're actually trying to do something about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? If we're here in California, Hollywood, and everything, you think that will make it work, but like Netflix, they're moving their stuff all to New Jersey now.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just
it's expensive and it's difficult, to do business here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's, I think by saying the tariffs, you kind of goad them to do this. It's like, bro, if you want to keep your industry, you can lose your industry. Like, you're already losing the space industry. Like SpaceX they may launch some things here, but they're doing most of their stuff in Texas now. And then you don't have to put up with the one of them boards or something was trying to go after SpaceX in the military. Was trying to lessen the amount of takeoffs because of environmental concerns or something like that. Like, okay, we just go to Texas and build them there, do all this other stuff.
You don't have to deal with that.
Right. And it's like, I don't, not to go political, but I don't really get the way these people think is that they think that they can control this kind of stuff, and you can't, because the person who you are trying to get over on can just move. Like, yeah, you can mess over poor people and they can't move, but the rich dude that you were trying to get money from, you be like, all right, see ya. I'm out.
So true.
Yeah. So the employees who want to move,
All
and
the bureaucracy and the red tape here. I mean, it makes sense why people are moving out.
yeah, and like I knew someone who had a camera guy who lived above them, or no, below them. Pretty cool dude, but they eventually had to move because he couldn't get any work here. Like, he liked living in California, but if you can't get no work, you got to go where the work is. And if the work is in Atlanta, now you live in Atlanta. So hopefully this means that, our lovely legislature is getting their head out of their ass and realize that you have to incentivize people to do stuff. And maybe that'll lead to them actually letting people build things, so that would help with the economy of California. But I don't know. There've been a lot of stuff lately that it's a little ray of sunshine, a little bit of hope. Hope this is one of those. All right. Our first topic of the day that's actually listed is there's some information on two things. Blade. Well, they're both about Blade. One is about Midnight Suns. I don't know if you guys familiar with that particular comic book?
No.
So basically, they took it's Midnight Suns, and I have a little bit more familiarity with it than you guys. But if I'm understanding, it's the occult side of the Marvel universe, and somehow Wolverine is involved too, because Wolverine has to be on every team. So it's Blade, Doctor Strange, and like all those type of people. So it is like an entire comic book series that's kind of based on that kind of stuff. I guess it's like Dormammu, and it's that stuff. So they're gonna make a movie about that. It's like another one of those things where you're trying to get people who will probably have no idea who, like, anybody but like Blade and Doctor Strange is. Okay, you can see me. Okay, all right, so you can see it. All right, so announced Midnight Suns movie. He has never officially announced this Midnight Suns movie. However, it's been rumored that it's in the works enough times that we can be fairly confident there are indeed plans to assemble a group of supernatural anti-heroes in the MCU. We recently learned is back to being actively developed after reportedly losing Logan scribe Michael Green. New writer. He doesn't know who it is, but this bodes well for a movie we'd imagine where Mahershala Ali makes his proper MCU debut as Blade, because they can't, for whatever reason, write a damn Blade movie. Bro, even Michael Goy, like the guy who wrote the other ones, like, dude, how he even offered to help them, and they said, "No, we got this."
Oh, really?
And I'm like, bro, you clearly don't got this. So he knows nothing about it. They were a solo movie simply hasn't come together at Marvel Studios. So starting with a team up might be the wisest move at this point. I don't know how. Why would that be? Because most people, as far as most people's concerned, Wesley Snipes is Blade, so you probably want to introduce him in his own movie first. He was joined by his Jurassic World Rebirth co-stars Jonathan Bailey and Scarlett Johansson for a new interview. During that, the Wicked Star accident every MCU's fellow actors have appeared in. Ali starred in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and had a cameo in the Internals, while Johansson played Black Widow. Leave me out of Ali said with a laugh. That's just a Scarlet question, Bailey joked. But that's the one we're very excited about, referring to Blade, the first movie announced by Marvel Studios. That was a lot. And you, what about you? Okay, so he's being teased by it. Okay, other names I've heard, most likely Black Knight, which that's Jon Snow, basically Jon Snow, supposed to be the Black Knight. He was in the Eternals. Scarlet Scarab, don't know who that is. Elsa Bloodstone, not sure who that is. Doctor Strange, and even Agatha Harkness, who is in a TV show nobody watched. So 6 to 9 members.
Wow, it sounds
Yeah.
cool, but if they can write it well.
Bro, do you think that they could? I don't think they could.
No.
I have zero faith in anything they put out because everything they've been putting out is crap. From Ironheart, Echo, friggin'. It's like you introduced Mephisto, but you didn't introduce him in Scarlet Witch and Vision, where he actually played a part in that particular story. But you introduced him in Ironheart, who had nothing to do with Mephisto. No, it's just like how you make Adam Warlock. You finally make Adam Warlock, but you put him in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie that has nothing to do with Thanos. Like zero, just I don't like but the writer for Scarlet Witch and the Vision didn't even know who Mephisto was. So you had like all these people who are doing fan theories and all this other stuff about like what's going to be shown and like which one of these people is Mephisto, and she was confused as hell. She's like, why do people keep talking about Mephisto? He's not in this. Like, bro, literally the story that you're writing is all about Mephisto. Like because the two kids are a piece of him or something like that she used to make two children. So it's tied directly into his character, and she had no clue whatsoever. They probably just gave her a comic book. She looked at it. It was like, oh, that's cool. And made a TV show out of it. So any input? Any thoughts?
No faith in them. That sounds
like
cool.
It's like you want us to lie. Oh yeah, they're gonna do a great job to providing a bunch of crap.
Can't wait.
Bro.
Can't wait for them to mess it up again. Honestly, like the movie concept, I don't, because I'm not familiar with the comics, but it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like those characters that have like a more like a mysterious or like magical thing about them.
Yeah.
Sounds cool, but them trying to make a movie of it, I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's like when I was telling you guys about like Doomsday and the Secret Wars. There's so much backstory to this story that you have to tell first. That I don't know how you write this like these stories without doing any of the back work, and you're trying to shove all this into a movie. I'm like, that won't work because most of your normal people will have no idea what's going on, and that seems to be quite evident in most of the stuff that they're writing, where it's just like, I don't know what's going on. Like I don't get what's going on because they haven't established the thing that they used to be able to do when MCU first started. You got the Iron Man movie, you get the Thor movie, and you get the Captain America. Different time periods. Each one didn't really have anything to do with each other. It's just this is their origin. This is how they got started. Yada yada yada. And then eventually you have them meet up in the Avengers. So everything was great. So then DC comes out and they try to do the reverse of that and just make a Justice League movie without really establishing their characters very well, except for like Superman and like I didn't really like Superman, like Man of Steel all that much. Some people did, some people don't. But then when it comes to Batman, you're just like, yeah, his Batman's here. He's just Gotham for some reason is across the street from Metropolis. Like, so anybody who understands comics is like, okay, one, Metropolis is kind of in Kansas. Metropolis is either in Kansas or it's New York City, right? Like the bright daylight, the clean side of New York, and Gotham is the dark side of New York. So they're like the two sides of the same coin, but in the DC universe, they're not next to each other. Which next to Gotham is down way a little bit is Bloodhaven. Bloodhaven is kind of like New Jersey City to Gotham being New York.
New York.
Right. So those go together, and it's a similar type of like Bloodhaven is just a little worse, I guess, than Gotham is. So it's crazy, but there is another Blade story because apparently Sinners bought a warehouse full of costumes from Marvel Studios once meant for a period Blade movie. So they got far enough into the Blade movie to make costumes. And then
a warehouse full of costumes. Wow.
Right. So the first trailer about Sinners was released. Many people pointed out that it had in some ways left Marvel Studios' long delayed Blade movie surplus to requirement. Okay. It's really weird to write that. Horror Epic was a surprisingly hit, grossing $384 million worldwide and receiving widespread critical acclaim. However, it being a vampire movie led by a black actor with a 1920 setting wasn't the only thing it had in common with Blade. During an interview with Screen Crush, Sinners producer Seb Ohanian, a fun Marvel Easter egg when he revealed that many of the costumes used by background actors in the movie were originally planned for a Blade when it was being developed as a period piece. Costume design Ruth Carter was working on the Blade movie that ended up not shooting. At one point, that movie was going to deal with okay. She talked about this before, but at one point the film was going to deal with the past around the same era as Sinners. She happened to have a warehouse full of period appropriate clothes and was like, yo, we got to shoot this movie like tomorrow. And Marvel was generous enough and kind enough to let us basically purchase it at a price. He later clarified like a lot of background actors wore clothes made for Blade. The movie stars had newly created original costumes. Dude, that is crazy. It's like you got to the point where you hired costume director and all this other stuff. They started with the costume. So you was further along into this than you let people to believe. And then you just stop. It's like, I wonder why. Well, no, I don't have to wonder why. It's like the script was probably ass. But dude, this is why they don't have like this. This is why their budgets are crazy. This is why like, how do you get that far? Were you actually making costumes?
I know, and then there's like no.
There had to have been a script,
right? That was my next question. Like, if they got that far,
yeah, they just. I mean, I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff. It's like by the time they get to making costumes, that's pretty far into the process. Because you got to measure people. You got to do a lot. That means you got to have like you talk about a warehouse. That means that's background folks. That means you got to go get measurements. You got to hire people that you need to measure. That means you got people on contract to do this movie, and they just scrapped it. That's nuts. And then like, yeah, no wonder these budgets are like $300 and whatever million because these people this studio is run like by idiots. Man, what? No, dude, it's the truth. It's like they let the crazy people run the asylum, and now they're trying to figure out how to go back around and clean up everything after the fact. Like they done burnt down half the building. I'm like, I don't know how you fix any of this shit. A Blade movie is not that hard to write. And when you think about like the original Blade movies, how complicated were they?
not much, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Right. So it's a dude who runs around Budapest and places in Europe killing vampires. Like, you had him in 1920, which, okay. I'm trying to remember how old Blade actually is. But that seems like a little earlier than. Not because the original character you saw him, it was like the 70s. I guess he, because I don't know if he's immortal or he just like ages slowly. I'm trying to think of how his powers work. So like 1920 is like 100 years ago. What's cool though is Wolverine is around that time as well, because Wolverine is like late 1800s. So you could have actually had a cameo from Wolverine in that movie.
And see, that actually makes sense.
Which would have been kind of cool, right? It's like you doing this
the same time period. You're right. You know what you're saying earlier about like the superhero movies when they just like randomly put in like random characters just for the sake of doing it, even though it makes like no sense at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, I think normally would have been confused. Like, why the hell is Wolverine here? But if you are like you read comics, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool that he happened to be in the general area because he would be alive at that time, and he would be relatively young. So you would probably have to recast Wolverine to do that because he would be like in his 20s. So he'd be in his 20s. He would have to have his bone claws. I don't think they didn't get to putting the adamantium into like maybe the 60s or 70s, like further down the line. But that'd have been actually a really cool Easter egg. So it could have been cool if you would actually wrote it like, dude kicking.
Like really set in that time period, huh?
Yeah, and given how much money freaking Sinners made, you put a Blade movie, and it's not like they've made projects where they had a similar backdrop. Like Armageddon and what's the one with Morgan Freeman? I can't remember. Like it was Armageddon came out the same time as that one with Morgan Freeman, and similar thing, but they took a different approach to it. Like Armageddon was a Michael Bay movie, and the one with Morgan Freeman had more to do with people. It was more like people, and like what happens on when there's a giant meteor, asteroid coming to Earth, and everybody kind of knows, as opposed to Armageddon. People found out closer to the end of the movie, but they didn't really know. Like it didn't get out. So it's not like they've haven't had movies with a similar premise at the same time. So they could have actually put it out. I don't know why they got scared. Like, you're Marvel. Blade is an established character that people know of. Why would you be afraid of, even though it's one of your directors, like why would you be afraid of a smaller movie with a similar premise? So it's like, it shows you kind of where Marvel's head is right now. Like, they're afraid of Superman. They're afraid of a bunch of stuff coming out at the same time that their movies are. Where during its heyday, it wasn't. People were afraid of Marvel, not Marvel being afraid of various movies.
Wouldn't you think what do you call it, the Russo brothers will bring it back or not?
I don't know. Their last couple of movies that they made on other projects have not worked out that well.
Yeah, but that was not Marvel.
Well, I don't know. Like, look, from what I've heard, Jurassic Park is not that great, but it made 340 something, or like it made a lot of money this weekend.
Well, I checked that it was sold out.
Right. So if I think people are ready for the summer blockbuster again, Where it doesn't have to be
like a masterpiece.
Yeah, masterpiece. It is something that is hot outside. Give me an excuse to go to a cold place and watch a movie with a communal thing with a bunch of people. I don't want, and that doesn't preach to me.
Like, yeah, but mostly Jurassic Park is more for also for kids, you know.
Well, yeah, that too. But it's like it's still a summer movie. Yeah, but it's still a summer movie though as well. So like these movies.
The thing with like Marvel movies too, like it kind of appeals to everyone, you know.
Yeah.
So
they need to go back to that. Nobody wants to be lectured. Yes. I didn't need to know why Arnold Schwarzenegger's character was doing whatever he was doing. I didn't need to know why Danny Glover felt the need to chase after the Predator in Los Angeles, or how he felt being a cop in LA. I didn't need to know any of that. They was like they had rival gangs. They were just rival gangs. There was no telling me why these Jamaicans are a gang. Is because of systemic racism or what? That was not a thing. That was not a thing that needed to be in these movies. That was just, these are characters. That's it. These are happen to be Jamaican. These happen to be this. They happen to be that, and they are the backdrop for the Predator movie, not the other way around. So, like I said earlier, there's a bunch of things that's happening that give me some hope that we're through all this nonsense and we're coming out the other side. Because these companies need to make money, period. End of story. From them rehiring the dude, like we were talking about last week, rehiring the guy to help them with 2D animation to show them how to make animation that people actually like. And you get this week where they're upping the amount of money for tax credits. So like, okay, you guys are serious about saving Hollywood. Because next to it used to be one of California's biggest draws next to Silicon Valley. And then they slowly let it die on the vine. All right. Well, speaking of die on the vine, you guys excited for, I gotta find it. Highlander. Here we go. Are you guys excited for a reboot of Indiana Jones?
For a movie or series?
Oh boy.
Let's see. All right, it is claimed that Disney and Lucasfilm plans to fully reboot Indiana Jones. Rumors legit. That means Harrison Ford won't be. He's like 90 years old, so he can't.
Like literally,
he's too old. Mailbag. Said Lucasfilm is letting the franchise rest a bit before they do a full reboot of the franchise. Does the rest a little bit mean after Kennedy goes away?
That's a good question.
I still think it's gonna be bad.
Even if she's not at the head of it.
Yeah. Because she's already gonna have somebody in charge who they want.
Yeah, that's like her.
Even though she might be gone, but it's gonna be another person like her.
I think I saw something that talked about it, but nah, man, it's like I'm the room given the rumors of 007 and given the fact that the person that they are interested in seems to be Tom Holland. I'm like, okay, at least he's white. Like that's what James Bond looked like. Keep saying this before. If you want to have a black spy in that universe, introduce him as a secondary character in one of the James Bond movies. If people like him, spin him off into his own joint. Very simple. Then you do not piss off the people who are fans of James Bond, and then the people who are fans of the new character get to enjoy him in his new setting and new series. If you want, you can make it a woman too. You can do a trifecta. You can have a woman, trans, whatever the hell you want, as long as you don't change James Bond into anything that he's not. So, like, they're making a new James Bond game, and it is set in the time period before he became a 00. So he's fresh out of the military, and he's just getting into the spy stuff. So he's first meeting Q and Money Penny and all that stuff. So like, all right, well, you can do that. That would be interesting. So some people are upset about the fact that he's young. I'm like, bro, at some point you got to reintroduce these characters to a newer generation, because most 20-year-olds will have no idea who Sean Connery is. Sean Connery's been dead for a long time.
Or even James Bond, for that matter.
Right. Well, as far as they're concerned, James Bond is Daniel Craig. He's blonde hair, angry dude.
Yeah.
You may like Sean Connery. You may like any of the other ones. Like, you talking about like the 60s, dude. Like, your parents, the parents of these kids were kids when the people that you're talking about were actually a thing. Like, I like Roger Moore. Roger Moore was when I was a kid. So, okay, figure out a new way to introduce these characters. And it's the same thing when it comes to Indiana Jones. You can do young Indiana Jones. There's like a whole, you ever watch the young Indiana Jones stuff?
The young one?
Yeah. With River Phoenix. Like Joaquin Phoenix is the one who overdosed.
No.
Yeah, they had a little bit in one of the movies, and then they had like another guy, like George Lucas did like an entire series of young Indiana Jones stuff. Basically, it was when he was younger, and it was like World War I. And no, it was actually pretty good. So
it was a series, or
yeah, it was it was a couple of movies and like series of not movies, but like I don't even know if I can find it.
Like TV specials or something.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where it was like in between Star Wars, he was doing this. The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Okay, see if I can find a trailer. I'm just fucking trying a trailer. May get hit for this, but okay. Yeah, it was only it was like a year. Okay.
My name is Henry Jones. My friends call me Indy. For more than 90 years, I've lived the adventures of a lifetime. It all began in 1908 when my mother and I joined my father on his lecture tour around the world. I traveled for nearly 2 years, and my father's Oxford tutor was hired to guide my education along the way. But I wasn't too anxious to learn.
Henry, straight back.
I hate her. She's a witch.
Although we didn't see eye to eye on everything, we did have the most amazing journeys together.
Actually, this isn't. This is not what I'm talking about. But you can see what I'm talking. But if I can get to the point where he gets older.
Right in the middle of World War I.
Are you sure it is the Belgian army you wish to join? Oui, bien sûr.
Joining the Belgian army and fighting in the Great War was an emotional experience full of excitement, terror.
Yeah, so
it didn't turn out exactly the way I had hoped, but there were many more ahead. Some of my romances were adventures in themselves.
Yeah, so basically that it was VHS.
Narrator.
Yeah. See if I get it's not showing. Oh, yeah.
Now available on exploits of the young man Lennon. All the action, all the intrigue, all the exciting exploits of the young man who not only witnessed history, he made it. Excitement, action, and mystery lie ahead as young Indiana Jones takes you through the high adventure years. In Chapter 10, The Phantom Train of Doom, in the middle of
Oh, but you see what I'm talking about? They actually like George Lucas did what they could probably do again. Do a young indie, make it like build into just like he did with the third movie, a little bit of adventure when he's younger, and introduce him to a whole new audience. Yeah, this is back when Lucasfilm didn't suck. And bro, imagine you have enough money to just like you got a story and you just go out and you just do it. Put it out on VHS tapes, and people bought them. Actually, I have like a couple. I had a couple. Like I don't have my VHS tapes anymore. So, but yeah, I had some of them. Yeah, they were actually pretty entertaining. It was kind of like reminds you of, I don't know if you watch any of the. So this is where my age comes in. Serial stuff like the Lone Ranger and Buck Rogers and all that kind of stuff. It was like that.
Oh, okay.
It had a budget, but the budget wasn't huge. So he spent some money, but not a lot. So it's like there are things that they could do. Whether or not they would do it, that's a whole different thing. So like I said, I am the tax credit stuff. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So that you can bring more of the jobs back to Los Angeles. And you start filming stuff back in Los Angeles. So you have TV shows that are based in Los Angeles but filmed in Atlanta. So, I don't know. So, comments?
I mean, I agree they should do Indiana Jones movies, like more for the younger generation, but I don't trust them. It's just gonna make it worse.
No, you gotta do. It's just like with everything. If you feel that you need to change, you need to clean house. Will they clean house?
No.
Then you'll be stuck doing whatever is like you'll be where you're at, yeah, unless you clean house. But that's a problem in video games. It's a problem with everything else. Hold on, let me. I'll show you this thing. Halo. Like a Halo. Okay. All right. So I'll just show you. See this right here? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it though. It's the Halo thing with the pride colors and all that stuff.
Oh. Yes.
Right. So there's a game gonna come out, Halo. Nobody's gonna buy it. No, I'm serious. It's because when you announced the new group that's working on it, the first thing you showed off was a fat black chick with red or like rainbow colored hair talking about her pronouns. That is not going to appeal to the target audience of Halo.
You mean they're not going to buy it?
No, because just like how
God, I'm shocked.
Right. So all these companies, it's like, bro, you need to fire all these people. The ones in Lucasfilm, the ones who work in Marvel, like all of them. They are not making you money. Period. The people going to the parks, that's like down. Like the amount of people going to Disney World, Disneyland is down. So that's where they made all their money at. So I think that's someone that goes with some of the decisions that they're making. It's like, okay, and they're noticing that, all right, everything that is making us money was not written by or initiated by anybody who worked for us currently. All the stuff that, for the most part, that is making us money. You know how I told you how long this stuff takes, like 5 whatever years. So all those people who started this stuff, they basically got moved out. So now you got all these yahoos who are making stuff that nobody wants to see, and you're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do it. Just like how you build an entire costume thing for a movie that you're not gonna make. Who knows how many millions that costs? Like, fire everybody. Go in, say, look, all y'all fired. Y'all not making us any money. No, those scripts are already done. Like all those little right? That looks like stuff that can go on Disney Plus right now. You probably own the rights to it, so you can put it on Disney Plus. Say we're gonna do a new episode of Young Indiana Jones. Make him a little white kid, because that's what Indiana Jones looks like. He is not a black woman. He's not a gay man. He's not none of that. Make him what he looks like. There are plenty of stories of black people in them. You can do one of those for something else. You can make Captain America back to a Falcon what he should be, instead of this whatever just stop with all the nonsense.
Do you think the younger generation, the newer generation, can be introduced to like these older or like legacy characters by showing them like the original thing?
No, because they won't watch it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I'm thinking. Like with
But-
the Pokemon stuff, it's like they're not gonna watch the old Pokemon stuff, you know?
no.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out where, instead of trying to get them to come where you're at, you need to figure out where they're at. And
Yeah, that's true.
so put Indiana Jones in Fortnite, put them on Roblox, that kind of thing. This so they can have a general idea who this character is. They know who Batman is because Batman is part of the zeitgeist. So everyone knows who Batman is, because he's never actually gone away, regardless of how terrible they are currently writing him in the comics. He's still part of the, pop culture. So it is possible, but you have to start slow. Introduction here and there. Like I said, put it up. Maybe some people will watch it, maybe whatever, but it won't cost you any money. It's like it's already written, it's already filmed. Maybe you have to remaster it into because it's going from VHS, so there's like what 36p or it's gonna be terrible. So no, upscale it to 4K. But I mean, how much does that cost? Probably not that much. Actually reintroduce the character. Don't make him black. Don't put it in Harlem. It's like
The Message.
yeah, that stuff is dead. Stop this. Like stop. Nobody. All the girl boss movies y'all making, nobody wants to see. They got something with Charlize Theron on Netflix, where it's like, wow, big yawn. Where it's like, no, they got something. I'm like, where it's a bunch of old women kicking butt. I'm like, nobody wants to watch that. I'm sorry. Nobody
Depends if the female's pretty.
Nah, if it's Kate Beckinsale, she still looks like how she did when she was in her 20s. So that'll probably work. But you got Scarlett Johansson complaining about the male gaze. It's like, who cares? Because you sound exactly like every woman your age who used to be hot, who's no longer hot in terms of Hollywood's concern of hotness. Sydney Sweeney took her spot. I personally think Sydney Sweeney's like facially is kind of like,
What the hell?
No, I ain't talking about.
I have no comment.
No. I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about the other
I don't know.
I am not talking about.
Comment, but
I am not talking about her fun bags. I am talking about just her face.
I don't know. I don't know what you're trying. So.
All right, you need to lift your head up a little bit and look her in the face. Face wide, the face wide is kind of like
average.
Right. Nah, so she has perfect like fun bags. They're like, but and in a combination, yeah, that makes her cute. But yeah, just kind of like, but to Scarlett, like she's complaining. I'm like, dude, that was you. And if you could still get the parts that she gets, you wouldn't be complaining. So it is what it is. But I'm quite sure if they actually found people who knew how to write well, they could actually reintroduce most of these characters. I mean, I'm talking like Lone Ranger, like, because stuff that comes out that is actually written well does fairly well. Because people actually want to go to the movies and see shit. You're just giving them crap.
Yeah,
So?
that Jurassic Park thing was. I'm surprised. I didn't know it made that much.
Yeah, dude, it is. People want to go see. I mean, what I keep saying, like the thing that I keep saying, people want to give you money. You just gotta give them a reason so that you can give their money to you.
Well, the last Jurassic Park movie, it was not that good.
This
Well,
one, this one
The
is not
last
that
one.
good either.
No, but it's still the it's people still want the summer movie thing.
I mean, how could it be much better? This is what, the 5th, 7th Jurassic Park?
Bro, how long has it been, like,
What is
Indiana
this
Jones
one,
has
the
been
third?
around?
Oh, how many Jurassic Park movies have we had? 6, 5?
Let's see now. You got the first
Eventually,
three.
it's not gonna be better than the first. or
Then you
second.
got the Chris Pratt. There's two Chris Pratts. So there's two Chris Pratts, right? Or three. Was there three Chris Pratts?
Can't remember.
I know the first one, yeah, I think is, I don't know. I think it's either 2 or 3. So you talk about 6. And then you throw in this one, so like 7. Bro, it is, how many friggin' James Bond movies have there been? Been around since like the 50s. So you can continue this. You just don't write crap. But they keep writing crap and then getting mad that the people don't want to come and watch their crap.
It looks like it's doing good, so I'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's like was it Pacific Rim? Pacific Rim, you got giant robots fighting kaiju.
Yeah, that's true. It's like the perfect example of like to shut your brain off and just watch things explode.
Bro, it is not complicated. Then you got and then you have the speech in it. So it's what's the name of the dude who Idris Elba give the speech in it. So the speech that is in every stupid one of these kind of action movies where he gets the crew all riled up or whatever, right? And like for Deep Blue Sea, like Samuel Jackson gave the speech, and then the shark jumps out of the water and bites his ass and jumps back in the water. So everybody in the theater when I was watching it was like, you can't kill the dude who's giving the speech, man.
Like contrast that to Elio like really bombed.
I don't think people really like the art style. That's that Cal art style that
the big mouth.
Right. People don't really like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why you decided to do that. It's like it's too much. There's been too much of that. It's like the reason why the Minions work because nothing else looks like the Minions. The Minions is very distinct, and Pixar was very distinct. People like that. It's comforting. Like, all right, but that was an old Pixar when you knew when a Pixar movie was coming out. Like, it should be good. Now people don't believe that, so you're gonna have to do a lot to get that automatic. Just assuming that you are doing good product. And I am not sure that Doomsday is going to do that because you're introducing Doom without the Fantastic Four. I don't know how that works, to be honest, because they go align with each other from the rivalry between him and Mr. Fantastic, and the reason why he got maimed in the first place. All of that is tied to the Fantastic Four. Now, they may have he may be from a dimension or a reality where there is a Fantastic Four, you just don't see them. So, don't know. All right, well, It's about an hour. So you want to talk about either China doing AI Bruce Lee movies, or a producer from Amazon saying how wokeness destroyed comedy? Which one you want to talk about?
China #1.
China.
China number one asshole. Okay. All right. Where is that? Okay. So this is on the action movie site. China reveals government-backed AI project to remake Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Jet Li classics, and is claiming that it will be breathing new life into its legendary kung fu cinema by harnessing the power of AI. Unveiled at the Shanghai International Film Festival, Kung Fu Movie Heritage Project 100 Classics AI I'm tired. Revitalization project will digitally restore iconic martial arts films starring Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and others. Okay. No, this is on X. Go over to X. What the load up? All right, Chinese 100 films, including one starring Jackie Chan. This is like old school Jackie Chan, where he was trying to be Bruce Lee. Oh, dude, like John Woo's Better Tomorrow's being turned into the world's first AI produced animated feature film. That is crazy. No, I don't. I'm trying to go to the article. All right. Remake a Kung Fu classic. So see if they give us any information. Well, basically, this is kind of what I was thinking about with the young Indiana Jones thing. So you take something from the past and you get it to be remastered. Like, it can't really cost that much. So Fist of Fury, 1972, Drunken Master, 1978. Jackie Chan has been around since 1978, dude.
Think
That's
about that.
Yeah. Once Upon a Time in China. That's Jet Li. 100 Classic. There will be a digital reworking of the John Woo classic that, by the looks of the trailer, turns the money-burning anti-hero originally played by Chow Yun-fat into a cyberpunk, and is being claimed as the world's first full process AI produced animated feature. Want to show us the trailer? Nope, don't. So what do you think about that? Them going through and I kind of look at it as like they've decided that all new movies are crap. And they're just going back and just like,
The way I see it, maybe like the CCP will use this as an excuse to say like, oh look, our AI is much more advanced and better than yours.
oh Lord.
That's what I'm expecting. It's like, look how much more refined our AI is.
Dude.
I can see it happening.
No, it just, in one sense, I think it was cool, but it's like every damn thing else is what happens when you get a hold, like when other people who are hacks get a hold of stuff. Amazon has Amazon has a thing when you can borrow books from their countless people who put books out on Amazon. You pay like a fee of $9 a month, right? And you get all these books. The problem is most of the books are shit. I'm serious. Written by people, just like how when you're reading an article now, how it's just like, who proofread this? And it's like, that don't make any sense. It's like how they're writing it, right? Imagine the same thing with just books, where it's like you needed an editor. You need someone to tell you like, all right, well, this works and that don't work, and this doesn't. Like, people need that. You need somebody outside to look at your project and like, okay, this works, that doesn't work. Boom, 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 boom. And even though it's a bargain, there's so many books that it's kind of hard to maneuver through all of that. And that's kind of what I'm afraid of. Is like, once you start doing this, and you start like going through, and like they said, changing that movie with Chow Yun Fat into a cyberpunk thing that's fully AI generated. You feed in the script on one end, and it gives you this because you already got dialogue, you already got all the sets, like how the sets look. So it can actually just like digitize that and come out with a whole new thing. So who knows what the hell the future is going to bring when it comes to all these classics. Now, most of the movies that they talked about are good movies, but I was like, are they a product of their time too? Like people love Back to the Future, but Back to the Future is a very 80s movie. Like, will that work nowadays? I don't know. So, what are your thoughts?
I think it'll be hard to. I don't know. Like, did they even ask Jet Li and Jackie Chan if that's okay with them?
Dude, they are very patriotic.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah. So
I'm sure they're all for it.
It doesn't matter if they're not.
Yeah.
they,
Yeah,
they
that's
will
true.
be all for it. I mean, like Donnie Yen is the exact same. They are very patriotic to their country. So
Yeah.
I'm quite sure if they have any objections, you will never hear them. So I don't know. We already got like Darth Vader cursing in Fortnite. So like I don't know. And every time one of these IPs go on to like the open market where anybody can do whatever they want, the first thing they always seem to do is horror movies. I don't know why. And Superman is coming up in the next decade or so. Who knows what people will actually make with Superman? That should be interesting. And I think maybe another 10 years or so after that, it's Batman's time. So you throw in Superman, and then you add 10 years of improving of AI. You might actually get a good Superman movie.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of Superman movies, but that is now how good they are. I don't know, but you're probably gonna get a lot of them. All right. Well, we're not gonna get to the last thing I put on the list because we talked about other stuff. And it seems to be how, from what I've seen about these podcasts, I've seen how these things work. I've seen dudes where they have like topics listed, and they spend the first 2 hours talking shit to each other.
Yeah, they get distracted.
So, the fact that we're able to get through at least some of what I got posted, yeah, it's great. Oh, you got anything you want to add to this? And no, I do not want to watch Ironheart. He's been trying to convince me all day that I should go check it out just to put it up on the channel. I'm like, after Acolyte and Ahsoka and Echo,
you don't want to subject yourself to more torture.
Gaming and culture, right?
Dude, look, I am going to watch Ahsoka too. And they just.
Why will you watch Ahsoka too? You don't want to Ironheart.
Because the lesser of two evils.
Because it's going to be regular shit. Ironheart is double dipped shit with shit kernels left out in the sun. So I don't want to watch another Echo. Echo was absolutely horrible. Having your final fight be the Kingpin, having a psychiatric breakdown where he's crying and shit. Like I don't want to watch the Kingpin. That's why I stopped watching freaking Daredevil on Disney Plus. Like, dude, I don't want to hear about the Kingpin's marriage. Like, dude, I don't want to watch this. Who decided that I need to watch him and having issues with his wife cheating on him when he was not in town? The Kingpin, she wouldn't cheat on him because he would probably kill the dude that she cheated on. Hence to him having the dude locked up in the basement someplace. Like this, that guy would not be sitting in therapy discussing his feelings also while running New York. So I cannot do it. I like my brain too much. So I am gonna put up with Ahsoka. I get at least a year break to prepare myself mentally to watch that nonsense when it comes out, and watch a bunch of people who aren't very smart try to write a very smart person. That will be Admiral Thrawn, because they couldn't write him smart in the first season. He did a lot of dumb stuff and pretend that he actually planned to fail. Okay. So those are my 2 cents. What about you two? Nothing? Okay, don't blow me away with the like all this deep thoughts and whatnot.
No, I'm just left like starstruck and dumbfounded.
All right. So on that note, we're out. So,
See ya.
peace. Yeah. What about you there, Ricky?
Peace out.
Later.